ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe. Sometimes.
Tell me about this. I want to know more.
Oh, yeah. No.
Holy cow.
We've had a lot of fun.
Well, this is what happened. As we're getting on our first flight of 3 that's going to take us to Hawaii. So we're still at home in our home airport. And we're in line for security clearance. And my son's like, I'm going to throw up.
Oh, no.
And luckily,
Been there, done that.
Luckily, there's a trash can right there. So he proceeds to throw up. And then we go in the airport. He's sort of okay, sort of not. We run into a friend of his, a teammate from his hockey team. They have a ping pong table in the airport. So the friend says, let's go play ping pong. And so they go. And then like 5 minutes later, the friend comes back. He's throwing up.
No.
So he had, I believe he was in the bathroom by that time. Anyway, hopscotch across the country, just leaving souvenirs everywhere. And so we get off the plane at LAX. I decide to buy him some Pepto for, $10 for some chewable Pepto. And I give it to him. We get on a bus. We go to a different terminal. He's like, I got to sit down. And then next thing you know, right on the floor. And it's
lovely.
So then he's like, can I see a doctor? My son. So when you ask for a doctor, what you get is 3 firefighters who are also EMTs. And a gate agent who is also happens to be an RN, but she's not allowed to practice her nursing as part of her job because she's supposed to be a gate agent, not a nurse. Mm-hmm. So anyway, all 4 of these people were tending to him and, checking his temperature and that sort of thing. And I think they all thought that he was motion sick.
Right.
Which he wasn't because, he's never gotten motion sick in his life and he started throwing up before he got on a plane. But anyway, he felt better knowing that somebody had looked at him and once we got on the plane at LAX to Hawaii, then he was fine. He didn't throw up anymore and that was the end of that.
So he's apparently stillness sick. The motion was
right. The motion was soothing to him. So there was that excitement. There was the fact that Sterling K. Brown was staying at our hotel.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And my mom talked to him.
Oh, wow.
I didn't, but she did.
And was he charming and gracious about people coming up to him on his vacation and speaking to him?
He was nice to her, and I didn't see anybody else talking to him.
Wow. What's the matter with them?
I know. They were all trying to be discreet
I guess
or something.
so.
But she just said, she said something like, you're either Sterling K. Brown or you're his twin. And he said, no, I'm him. And
she gave him an out.
Right.
And people say that to me all the time.
And she said, well, congratulations on the show. It's really, we really like it or something like that. And then that was it. And then later she was standing in line to, I don't know how there were 2 water slides, at this resort. And one of them you could only go by yourself. And he had his 2 little boys with him. And the older one wanted to go down the slide, but, Sterling was holding the baby and so my mom's like, I should have just said, do you want me to hold the baby? And then for the rest of the trip, she was like, I almost held his baby. But she didn't.
That would be the point at which hotel security would get involved.
Right, no thanks, lady. Even though you look like a sweet grandma, I don't know.
Well, he may be at that level of fame where it's nice to be recognized. He'll be past that pretty soon, but
yeah, because that show is very popular.
Yeah.
So
and everybody says you're the best part of it.
Yeah, it's true. So that was fun, and
That's
exciting. In general, yes, the whole trip was a lot of fun. I had never been to Hawaii before, so got to see that for the first time.
Oh, that was your first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we had one day where it just poured rain. Like it was just
It will do that.
It was just a downpour like the whole day. But we just carried on and did what we had already paid to do that day, which was go zip lining and to a beach. And the zip line part, it didn't rain that much. It was kind of off and on and mostly off. And it was sort of cloudy, and we were grateful for the, less sun because it would have been really hot. But then in the afternoon, it was a beach, and we were like, well, we're here, so we paddle boarded and we kayaked and we just walked around in the rain because that's once we were wet, we were wet. So.
That's right. Well, it's warm though, still, right?
Yes,
warm and rainy. So you just carry on.
Yeah. So that's what we did.
It's part of your tourist experience. Did you do like the corny touristy things like a luau and
we did a luau,
line dancers and
you got a picture of that
eating poi
of your son.
Yeah, we tried. My son tried pounding the poi.
Okay. Did he try eating the poi?
Yeah, we tried it. My son was like, it's okay. My daughter said, whatever. And I was like, oh, yuck. I don't like it. Yeah, I was the one.
It's not so much the taste as the texture, right? It's just
it was the taste for me. It was very sour. And they told us, the one who was pounding the poi, told us that it's like blue cheese, like it gets mold on it, and they like it that way. And like the more mold, the better for some people.
Once somebody tells you that, then you're never
I mean, the one we were sampling did not have mold on it, but
non-moldy poi. I don't, pounding the poi sounds like it should be a euphemism or something.
Well, and if you look at the picture, the guy's
R-rated.
The guy's leg is bare all the way up.
I saw that. I was looking at that picture and thinking, loincloth of some sort, perhaps.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, that was part of his costume because he turned out later to be one of the dancers. So, yep.
That's funny.
He sits very carefully so
he
that tourists
sure
taking
does.
pictures don't inadvertently.
Yep. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would love to go back and go to more islands and
were you on Oahu or?
Yeah, I was only on Oahu. My husband and son went to the Big Island for one night to scuba dive.
I remember that. I remember thinking that if it were Hawaii 5-0, something terrible would happen to them there. But I guess it's
only on the Big Island.
Only real life. It's just they father and son on a scuba diving expedition. And they happen upon a group of criminals plotting on the beach.
Underwater criminals.
Hawaii 5-0 has a high body count, y'all. I just gotta say, you want to keep your head down when you're anywhere in Hawaii. Keep an ear open for gunfire.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that sure beats my quiet vacation in Indio, California.
Oh, beautiful Indio.
Yeah.
But was it warm?
It was. It was warm.
Nice.
A little too warm, but whatever.
It was not warm here. We are having very, very, very cold temperatures here. Not Wisconsin level cold, I'm sure, but pretty darn cold for New Jersey.
Yeah, so I hear.
Yeah, so in that my job does not require me to actually leave the house, I haven't been so affected by it. Those times I like freelancing, the commute from my bed to my desk is fairly cozy.
It's pretty much unaffected by weather.
I see that I have the intro. Have y'all been waiting for me to realize I have the intro?
We've been chatting.
Segue the heck out of it. Okay. Hello and welcome to Parenting Roundabout, a weekly podcast about the things that parents are talking about, obsessing about, and complaining about right now. I'm Terri Morrow, and with me today are Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hi.
Today on the podcast, we're going to make a very long wish list on our speed round, shout out some stuff we like on the Roundabout Roundup, and do some shameless self-promotion. But first, this is episode 200 of our podcast, and you can tell it by the smooth and professional way we go about things. We have this down to a science, y'all. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about our time podcasting, and Catherine, how are we going to do this?
Well, we thought we would talk a little bit about what's changed over these past couple years and these 200, we say 200 episodes, but really it's many more than that when you fold in all the round 2s, and we used to do round 3 and round 4, and we have speed rounds. So, but 200 of these, group chats.
Numbered group chats, yes.
Yes. So 200 numbered episodes, I guess you could say. And we thought we'd just kind of look at how things have changed and evolved over the years.
One thing that springs directly to mind that has changed is that the origin of the Parenting Roundabout name was that at the beginning, everybody who was on the podcast worked for About.com, and now I don't know if any of those people that started it out still work at About.com, but Catherine and I certainly don't. Nicole never did, but the About part has left, but we've kept the Roundabout.
That's right.
Just because I paid for a domain name. So, but actually, not only have we left About, but About has left About. It's not even called About anymore.
That's true. That's true.
We retain the About, and now it's ours
in loving
only.
memory.
In loving memory.
Maybe not loving, but anyway, in
R.I.P. About.com.
memoriam.
Hey, yeah, I mean, the ending was not good for anybody, but it was a pretty great gig for a long time. Mm-hmm. So, I try to retain the fond memories and not go on to see what has happened to my former real estate.
Yeah.
Just basically
a
dumping ground for odds and ends of things I wrote that have no particular reason to be on a landing page. Yes. So every now and then I dig out something that they no longer have up and put it on my own stuff. But that was a big part of my life. And
it was
professional life, and a big part of yours too, Catherine, I'm sure.
Yeah, for a lot of years, and we met a lot of people, and a lot of them were on this podcast at varying times. And some like Amanda obviously were here for a long time,
right?
And some are going to return. Like in a few months, we're going to hear from Catherine Lewis, who at one point was the guide for working moms on About, and has since gone on to write a book that we're going to hear about.
Okay.
In a few months.
Yes,
so.
And I think possibly Jeanette Bradley, who did the food allergies, is also going to chat with us.
Right.
I have not actually responded to her email, but Jeanette, if you're listening, I got it. I'll be in touch. The home for old About.com editors. Come on down. Or guides or whatever it was they called us eventually.
Right. Experts.
Experts was my least favorite because, no pressure there.
Right.
But anyway, and so you and I would never have met Catherine had it not been for About, and especially them bringing people into New York every so often to eat catered food and listen to them. Presentations.
Listen to them.
The food was always better than the presentations. Although there was that one year in a warehouse somewhere where the food was a little dicey. But anyway, so what else?
So for me, I know things have, in terms of my kids, obviously they've grown. But I mean, when we started, I think, Terri, your son was still in school, in college, and you were spending your days at the community college.
I podcasted from my car more than once.
Right. And my kids have finished elementary school, and they're in middle and high school now, so that's feels very different. It feels like a very different phase of parenting, I think.
Right.
And I think Nicole had the empty not the empty nest yet, but the departure of your son for college.
Yeah.
Right around the time you started podcasting with us?
I would have been, because he lived with us the first year of his university, and then the second year he moved into the frat house. I think I probably talked about that several times. And so he left, and then he moved in with his girlfriend. And my daughter started. Did she start high school, or was she already in high school? Can't remember.
I think she might not have been in it yet.
Yeah, I don't think she
was just starting. Yeah.
Starting. Yeah. And I wrote a book.
Oh, that.
I wrote and sort of finished a book. I wouldn't say it's complete just yet.
It is now being nibbled to death by piranhas, but...
Yes.
Some more tattered remnant of it will see the light.
Yes. Eventually.
Folks, let us make this public service announcement. If you have romantic notions about book authorship and publication,
contact
let us let you down. Not so gently.
We will not inspire you.
Just publish yourself online. You know what?
Yeah.
Just get yourself a blog. Write whatever you want. Tell people it's there. You'll be happier. You'll be poor, but you'll be happy. You won't get the tens of dollars you would get from writing a book, but still. With an Amazon link, maybe.
Oh, yes. It's been quite the learning curve. So, I am not the person I used to be.
You're a shell of your former self.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to the early podcast with Nicole, and she sounds so different.
In her
She's
optimism.
so idealistic.
Go back to some of our inclusive class podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
We're master of the universe, you know?
Oh, we're so idealistic, and now I'm just jaded.
And I kept saying, I was the jaded one, and turns out I was right. Ha!
Yes.
Descended to my level of
Yes, but let's
nihilism.
not talk about who encouraged me to write the book. We're not going to go there.
Oh, but that was fun.
Well, you can do it. You should write a book.
I think Amanda shares some of the blame for that.
Yeah.
Let's blame her because she's not here.
She's not here to defend herself.
Yeah, nice way to deflect.
That's something that's changed over 200 episodes.
That's right.
We lost people.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, they're still alive.
They're still out there in the world.
They're no longer
just
talking
not
to us.
on the podcast. And Terri learned how to edit a podcast.
I did. Yes, we had the luxury of having Amanda's husband John edit us for quite some time, and then it was left to me to do, and I figured that was going to be the end of anything audible. But
you
I
did
am
it.
self-taught. If you like the way this podcast sounds, pat me on the back for having learned how to do that all by myself. And if you think it sounds awful, what do you want from me? I know what I'm doing. It works either way.
Yeah, you can always
that's
volunteer to do it for us if you'd like.
That's right.
If anybody out there is just looking for practice,
Yes,
this is a service that we
and
can
willing to
offer.
work free and really quickly.
Right.
Especially when we're doing Dancing with the Stars and then publishing a podcast the next day.
Right.
So, no rush, but get it done.
We might have to switch to like Facebook Live for those.
Could happen. That's
happen.
That's an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
No editing required.
We are all about the hip and happening technology, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
For sure.
we're on it.
Well, do you feel like you've learned anything about yourself or your abilities or your parenting during the podcast?
I've learned.
Patience,
I've learned
There
to
you go.
tenacity.
Even though I think I have no time for do anything but work, I still have time to edit podcasts, record podcasts, make quote graphics for podcasts, tweet 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's like, my family
much time,
is if my family ever adds up how much time I spend on the podcast, I'm going to have to answer for that.
It's a good
Like,
thing you do
sorry.
it all while they're sleeping.
That's true. Yes, I have mastered the fall asleep on the couch and then wake up at 4 a.m., grab your computer, and work. So that is when lots of that stuff gets done. But it is fun, and it makes me feel young to be doing something new and unusual and not my same old. So
Yeah.
it's been a good time. And I really, having somebody to talk to every week and laugh with is a valuable thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
How about you, Catherine? What have you learned?
Well, I mean, I think I probably knew this about myself before this, from my days of about.com and even working for magazines. But, when you think there is just nothing more to say or no more ideas, nothing new under the sun, you can always come up with something.
You can always pull something out of your...
Yes.
Bleep.
Yes. You just keep trying, and something is there. So
I think that's going to be our new motto. When you think that everything has been said, yeah, we can always come up with something else.
Figure something out.
And you will listen.
That's right, because this is a free service we offer you.
That's right. You can listen to us while you are doing other things. We don't mind.
That's
You
right.
won't have to worry about missing some clever turn of phrase. It'll just be us yammering. It'll be fine.
Well, the clever turns of phrase we pull out and
That's right.
and make into graphics for you.
It's a helpful service.
You can review later.
If you're thinking, what's that one smart thing they said? You can go on Facebook and look at all our photos. You'll find it there.
You'll find
It'll
it.
be
It's
fine.
there. It's there. Trust me.
Yes. Yes. I think we do pretty good in terms of...
And I certainly have started listening to so many more podcasts.
Yeah. Podcasts are fun.
Just because certainly just in the time that we have been doing this, it's exploded, and it's it's nice to feel like we're part of that.
Yes.
Even though we'd like to be part of it in the sense of having more listeners and more, advertisers and sponsors.
That's right.
But, we start with just enjoying it for what
We're
it's worth.
grassroots.
That's right.
First 200 or 300 we do for free. After that, we're
After that, I mean, come on. How about you, Nicole, and doing this contrasted to doing a previous podcast that was more...
where
that
you
was,
actually had people who knew what they were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I can be more myself on this podcast. The other one was very serious, so there was never any sort of room for joking or...
Other than me just saying, that never happens.
Yeah.
That's a unicorn. That doesn't exist. It was definitely more of had a different vibe to it. Yes.
And we didn't have to do as much talking, did we, Terri?
We
So
did not.
I've learned how to talk on the spot.
And we didn't edit that at all. We just recorded it on and
Oh, we did.
pushed it out on Blog Talk Radio.
It was like live streaming. It was
Yeah.
Well, and when we first started this podcast,
It was on
its
Blog
very
Talk.
first iteration was Blog Talk and was
Or-
unedited, and it was
Yeah.
like me walking around in my backyard with my phone. I don't know why. I thought
That's
that
when it
was
was
a
a bunch
good
of
idea.
about.com guides. We're just gonna, one of our dads had a barn and we were gonna put on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
it was
I
fun. It was
feel like
always
a lot
fun.
has changed and
All
I've learned
along.
a lot. Yeah. It's been a good ride so far.
And this is not a eulogy.
Right, we're still going.
We intend to continue.
Yes, we are going to continue. But as we continue to reflect on the past and think about our future,
Yes.
we have a speed round topic
Mhm.
to discuss. And that is, what do you wish you had 200 of? So,
Like we have 200 episodes.
200
podcast episodes. What else do we wish we had 200
we've
of?
completed 200 podcast episodes. What do we wish that we had another 200 of? and whether it's parenting or professional or material or what do you wish
you
had
can't say
200
like
of?
$1 million, right?
You're right.
Too easy.
I think that's a cop-out answer. Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
But
Catherine,
we could say,
Terri?
200 sponsors knocking on our door
Yes.
to support
Oh,
this
that'd be
podcast
nice.
and pay us
For
many,
sure.
many dollars to do it.
Yes.
We could record commercials for Squarespace and
Blue
MeUndies
Apron.
just like anybody else.
MeUndies. Oh, that's right.
Give us a bed. We will talk
wear
about
underwear. Just say.
We'll make our husbands try out the shavers and we'll talk about them. Honestly, we could do that. We could record text and drop it in. I'm sure all our listeners would enjoy hearing those ads again and again and again. Audiobooks is one of them, right? Audible.
Yes. There you go.
We could read books and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Sigh. Despite our 1,000-some listeners in France, we somehow don't seem to even get advertising from there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Call us,
well,
French advertisers. We're here
I
for
should
you.
well,
start
Catherine
using
went through
my-
the Duolingo thing, so she can do all the French
Yeah.
ones.
If they give me a script, I have good pronunciation. I'll just leave that there.
Très bien.
Exactly.
Wow.
Well, gee. I don't know. Lately, I wish I had 200 good and happy thoughts in my head to beat down the 200 worrying and negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
That would be useful.
Yeah.
I try to come up with them. When the worries are going through, I'm like, switch it around. Think of something happy. And then I think of another worrisome thing.
Mm-hmm.
So 200 happy thoughts. Come on in.
I need 200 excuses, usable excuses to have a nap
There you go. I like it.
that I don't have to feel guilty about.
A super comfortable couch works for me. I just sat down and
It just happened.
That was
it
it.
sorcelled me.
It just overcame you.
Yeah.
What could I do? I
Yeah.
am powerless.
I think,
Catherine.
well, there's the always ever popular 200 extra, minutes for
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
sleeping or driving or playing with your dog or whatever it is. Like maybe if I had 200 extra minutes a day, I would have less dog hair.
Well,
There you go.
if you, 200 extra hands to help you out.
Yeah.
That's a
You
lot
have
of
to feed
extra
and
mouths
pay
to
them.
feed.
That's a lot of hands.
Well, I didn't say they were going to live
100
with
extra
you.
mouths. I don't know.
I didn't see they were going to live with you. They could just come over whenever
Just
you need
for
them.
free. It's kind of like a mob descending.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I would like to be able to see 200 different outcomes from everything I do, so that I could pick the right one and do the right
Yeah.
thing. But that would be a little over. 200 would be too many.
Yeah.
200, I would just be paralyzed.
I would like to have
I'd
200
be like Chidi.
free.
You would
Free
be like
meals.
Chidi.
I think Chidi sees 200 different options. every
That's
time.
right. This is a good place reference, Nicole.
You
Yeah,
guys
I have
can
no
talk about
idea.
This Is Us, and then you and I will talk about The Good Place. And
See, I'm just dreaming about those 200 free meals I want.
I like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
free meals, huh?
Yeah, like somebody come in and make a meal
For
or send me a
200 days?
meal or
Okay.
Mhm.
yeah.
Well,
That's
and
what I
you
want.
should be able to pick when you use them. It's not 200 days in a row. Like
Oh,
No.
you might not need them on certain days, but
Yeah.
I could use 200 days of house cleaning.
mm-hmm.
Probably all in a row, honestly, to get my house in any sort of shape, but that'd be fine.
do like 100 in a row and then space them out after that.
200 opportunities
Mm-hmm.
to go to Canada for free.
Aw. Or 200 bags of ketchup chips.
I was just going to say that. One of my Christmas presents this year was a box of ketchup. Like a box of bags of ketchup chips.
Aww. Somebody was thinking.
Yeah. Somebody got brownie points.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Very nice.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
So much I could do with.
I would like 200 real job opportunities for my kids.
Yes.
I would like 2 real job opportunities for my kids.
200?
One apiece.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
Right.
Instead of, mom makes you fill out the application and then you never hear anything again, which is where we are mostly now. Or people who pay lip service to employing people with disabilities but don't actually wish to go to the trouble.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Boo. Mm-hmm. So 200. That'd do. That'd give us something to choose from. Give me something to obsess over.
I would like 200 days where my son does not have any homework.
That would be lovely.
Because that kills me daily.
That would be nice.
It is. And it's always, do you have any homework? No. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. If I go on the parent portal and look, will I see that you have outstanding homework? Oh, maybe one thing.
Busted. Maybe what you need is like 200 days of private tutoring services.
Well, I mean, everyone says that homework isn't really that useful, right? So,
right.
I am a homework believer.
Well, and the thing is that most of the time, the reason why he has homework is because he's not doing it at school. So, I would like 200 days where he finishes it at school like he's supposed to, and then everybody wins. He's got it done.
Yes.
He's learned what he's supposed to. He's fulfilled his responsibilities, and I don't have to deal with it. That's how it should go.
Well, how about just 200 free passes for anything you want?
There we go. That's nice and flexible.
A service to be named later.
Yeah.
Exactly. 200 of whatever you want.
Like volunteer hours for your kids' stuff where you're supposed to be doing it, but you can.
Or dollars for the equipment for your kids' sports team.
Yeah. Yeah. That would go in the big box gift cards that I have that nothing ever comes back out of again. And then, I had 200 of this. Darn it. Right. What am I going to do with it? I'll think about that later.
Well, maybe our listeners can tell us 200 things that they love about our podcast.
Oh, here we go. 200 5-star ratings on iTunes for Parenting Roundabout.
Even better.
See, you guys could do that for us, you listeners.
That is in your control, dear listeners.
Yeah.
Even 4 stars would be fine, really. Or,
Yeah.
But not comment. 3, please.
Not 3.
4 or 5
Come
only.
on, be real.
So they should keep listening.
Yes.
To our speed rounds and our Parenting Roundabout podcast.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yes. We will be here.
200 listeners.
Terri, you're up.
Well, now we're going to bring you some of the things that we have read or seen or used recently that we want to shout out and share with you, just as we hope you shout out and share our podcast with other people. You do that, don't you? Mm-hmm. Nicole, what do you have to share this time?
Well, we went away for a little mini vacation and stayed in this beautiful townhouse. It was a vacation rental in La Quinta, California. And it was run by a place called Legacy Villas. And oh my, worth every penny.
Wow.
It was beautiful. And it was just like top-notch vacation rental. It had everything that you would want. And it was just very luxurious and relaxing, and it was just a really cool way to spend a few days away from home. So check it out, legacyvillas.com, if you are in the Southern California area.
Nice. How about you, Catherine? Do you have something?
As I told Nicole before we started recording, I think I'm going to have to talk about socks.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I'm there for a discussion of socks.
So,
what you got?
Well, at Costco, must have been last month, or maybe it was it was before that. They had, in as part of their like impulse buy at the front of the store, they had packs of SmartWool socks. And they're so good. They're so comfortable. They're so warm. And so far, they're holding up really well. And my daughter got a set, and I got a set, and we're both very happy with them. So,
what brand are they?
the SmartWool.
Oh, it's called SmartWool.
I have no
Yeah.
idea what that is.
Which is a good brand for for clothes and things that are wool. Like, I actually have a skirt that's more like almost like a summer skirt from there, which you'd be surprised is wool, but it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It breathes.
SmartWool. SmartWool
Nice.
socks. Got them at Costco. Working well.
Darn
Cool.
Tough is another good sock brand if you like wool socks. I got about a bunch of Darn Tough socks when we went to Quebec for my daughter's band trip, and I am still wearing them. In fact, I am wearing them right now.
See?
Some 7 years later.
Wow.
They're very nice and very comfy and warm.
Yeah, because it drives me crazy when socks get holes in them after
Yeah.
like a month.
Well, these supposedly have a lifetime guarantee. I can send them back, but I don't think I would do that.
Why not? Come on. You don't have anything else to do, Terry.
That's true. 200 sock rebates coming my way.
Oh, what are you going to talk about?
Well, 2 YouTube videos. One of them is the virtual choir from performing a song from Dear Evan Hansen. I think the Dear Evan Hansen people set this thing up where you could get the music and the background music to listen to, and then record yourself singing it and send it in. And so they've put together all these videos of people singing this song, and the audios, and the way they put it together, they like swooping in on various people singing, and you hear their voice and you see them, and it's just really lovely. Nice variety of ages of doing it, nice variety of singing abilities doing it. The song is You Will Be Found, which has very much of a message of people coming together and caring about each other. It's just really, I've watched it a whole bunch of times since I first found it, and don't understand why it doesn't have millions more views than it has. So we will have the link. Go check that out. It is very moving. And just recently I found a video of a workshop performance of a song from The Greatest Showman, which is a movie that's out now. And Keala Settle, who plays, I think, the bearded lady in the movie, singing the song "This Is Me," which is for sure going to be the anthem from that movie. And it's done just like in a music room, and she's singing at first from behind a music stand, and then she comes out and just cuts loose, and there's all these people singing back up all around the room. I think it was a workshop to get the movie greenlit, and so they had a bunch of Broadway people there helping out. And it's just a really cool video, and it's a great song, and it's just the way that it's filmed, even in this supposedly informal performance, is just wonderful. So we'll have the link for that too. If you have 200 seconds or so to, watch something on YouTube. If you're trying to kill a little time somewhere with your phone or your computer, check those out. They will make you feel very good. And we all need that.
Good.
200 times a day at least.
And now for our final segment today, we are going to do a little shameless self-promotion and direct you to some things on our sites that we think you should take a look at. And I'll go first since there's some blank pages, blank space on our notes.
Hey, it's been the holidays. You know what? We've been busy.
So, well, I'll just mention one of my highlights articles because, I have like a big supply of those. And it is Your Preschooler Explained. And it's just about how there's a lot of weird and wacky things that preschoolers do. Of course, all kids do, but preschoolers in particular, this one focuses on. And how most of those wacky and weird things that they do are very normal. So don't stress. Do not spend 200 minutes freaking out. How about you, Nicole? Do you have something?
Well, I have 2 articles that are supposed to be up on the Friendship Circle blog.
Things that have changed in the last 200 episodes.
And so One of them should be out in the next couple days, so check out the Friendship Circle of Michigan blog or website, and you can search using my name, or you can search using Inclusive Education. And I believe the one I wrote that's coming out, I can't even remember the name of it. So let's just...
Topic. What was the topic?
It was 7 websites for helping your children learn content, curriculum content.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was 7 different websites that you can use to help them boost their skills.
Very nice.
All right.
All
and
right.
how about you, Terri? Do you have something to mention?
Yeah, I've had about 200 things to do every day for the past month, so I haven't gotten any new writing done, but I will mention that if you are curious about our 200 episodes, if you go to our website at parentingroundabout.com, you can find all of them. We even pulled in the old blog talk radio ones onto Libsyn. And so everything is there. You can, if you go up to the right-hand corner, there's a little thing that says episodes, and you could go into archives, and you can find episodes all the way back to 2013.
Whoa.
Although that was just one. That was our test episode that we did in December. But still, you can go through and you could find all of our episodes. If you use the search box and type episode, you probably will find the main ones more easily than without the other ones. You can look in categories and see different things. There's just all different ways to find all our various episodes. You can go back to the days where we had little pictures next to the things instead of just the very stripped down look of the blog now. And take a walk down memory lane with us, will you please? And then go to iTunes and rate it highly. Or leave a comment. You know, what a
Give
Kelly will leave a
200
comment.
ratings.
You can leave a comment. That'd be okay.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Parenting Roundabout. We hope you enjoyed it and that you'll join us every week. You can listen to podcast episodes on parentingroundabout.com or download them from Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe so you get all of our podcasts and mini podcasts. And you can also follow us on Twitter, where I am at Nicole Eridix, Terri is at Mamatude, and Catherine is at C. Haleko. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at Roundabout Chat, and look for us on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, and Instagram too. Best of all, stop by our podcast page at parentingroundabout.com and read recaps, find links on all the stories we mentioned, and talk back in the comments. Thanks to John Moran at johnjmoran.com for providing our in and out music, and I wish everyone a great week.